Welcome to Tax Insights, presented by Hawkins Ash CPAs.
Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to Tax Insight here on WOMT. Jeff, good morning, sir, and Happy New Year.
Good morning, Terry.
Today on the program, we're talking about fringe benefits and Form W-2. It's that time of the year.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because, there are certain benefits that owners of S corporations get that need to be reported as income and be included on their Form W-2 this year. And that's what I want to really talk about today.
All right, so you gave me the list ahead of time. Let's start off with the personal use of a company car.
This is a big one. So there's many situations where the owners or even employees use a company-owned car for their business activities. But this same car is also used for non-business purposes. Now, when someone uses a business asset for their own personal use, this is actually considered income to that individual. Now, the IRS has a fair market value calculation enabled to determine how much of that income to include on their W-2. And once this calculation is done, the income is reported on the W-2 for regular income tax purposes, Social Security, and Medicare.
So what about group term life insurance then?
This is another one that most people have. So an employer can pay the life insurance premiums for up to $50,000 of life insurance per employee tax-free. But if the insurance ends up being over $50,000, then the owner of the S corporation or the employee is required to pick up some income on their W-2 for the premiums paid. Now, once again, the IRS has a table to determine how much income will be reported, but it's normally not that much. But once it's calculated, it's going to be reported on the W-2 the same way as subject to income taxes, Social Security, and Medicare.
The other one is health insurance for S Corp owners.
This is more of a reporting requirement. So as an employee, any amounts paid for health insurance is a non-taxable fringe benefit. This includes owners of the S corporation. But because an owner of an S corporation, they need to report health insurance premiums a little bit differently. They actually need to include the premiums paid by the company as income on their W-2s. Now, even though it's income, the S corporation owner later on their personal return gets to deduct these premiums. So at the end of the day, the premiums end up being deductible, but an owner of an S corporation just has to jump through some hoops in order to get it that way. Now, one word of caution here is that even though it ends up being deductible, the IRS can still disallow that deduction if the premiums are not included on the Form W-2. So they want to make sure that this is done before their W-2s go out.
Another one, Jeff, quickly here before time runs out, but what about disability insurance for S corporation owners?
Yeah, so disability insurance paid for the company is income to the owner of the S corporation. These premiums are not deductible on the owner's individual return. So essentially, the premiums are made on an after-tax basis, but that's actually good news because if the owner actually receives a disability payment, they will not be subject to income tax. They'll be tax-free.
Jeff, a lot of great information each and every week here in Tax Insight. How do listeners connect with the team at Hawkins Ash?
I would go right to our website, which is hawkinsash.cpa.
Jeff, thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you next week here on WOMT.
This has been Tax Insights, presented by Hawkins Ash CPAs. Learn more online at hawkinsashcpas.com. Hawkins Ash CPAs, part of your business, part of your life.